The movie starts by showing us Jack, a young man who looks thoughtful for a moment. He arrived at this place in a door-to-door taxi and proceeded to go in to see his father, whom he is very angry with, and let him know. Nevertheless, David treated him kindly so he can enjoy his stay inside. David showed him his room, which the young man hated instantly. He couldn't stand anything his father did or said. He wanted to get out of that house as soon as possible before he goes crazy. Then he started smoking at the window and saw this girl outside. So he slyly followed her to get to know her and see if she was good there. David told him that her name was Maria and she does the household chores because his father is single again, and needs someone to help him. The young men introduced themselves, but Jack, who was a bit slow, said nothing. So the girl offered him a drink in the Sun beer. At that moment, the bro told the maid that he was only going to stay for a few days. He got really angry with her for a joke that he said, "What's wrong with that idiot about how he must get along with his mother?" Because with his father nothing. The truth is that his father was not close to him either. He was like an orphan who was into photography when he wasn't in a bad mood. Later, he apologized to the girl for his anger. His life was complicated because his mother died when he was born for reasons like that. Moreover, his stepmother was the one who separated from David a year ago. He already felt responsible for his mother's death. A foolish thought. At night, he asked his father between insults to leave him alone. His father only wanted to invite him to eat something at a restaurant, but he didn't want anything. The next day, his neighbor talked to him outside. She asked him if he was on vacation with his girlfriend. If not, they could go out for a drink. However, he left her as a plant when he saw Maria, because he wanted to take secret photos of her for his dirty collection, and he did it without her noticing. He asked about her personal life because she was about to turn 18. He got angry again because his father was never there for his birthdays. Maria didn't know how to make the grump not get angry. He said that he lived in the land of shootings with his mother's brother. The maid told him that she knows what's going on. The poor man also lost someone important in his family and tried to motivate him by telling him about her life in France and the places she worked. And that then she made him lunch while they talked about other things. He confessed that he felt very good talking about his past with her, who replied that she will always support him in anything that happens to him. The man showed her the photo of his mother to demonstrate his appreciation. Maria wanted to talk about her upcoming birthday and Jack got angry again because he hates talking about that topic that bothers him a lot. How funny was it? He was a princess who got upset about everything. And the girl, who was very pretty, kept coming back to him where she told him that she can't celebrate her birthday without feeling guilty. Because on that day her mother died, she can't be happy with that. Maria understood the bro's depression and told him that they will overcome everything in time. After that, she told him the story of when she was 16, she became pregnant with her boyfriend who told her to get rid of the baby, but as she couldn't do it, she had it with the support of her parents and religious beliefs. They did not believe in abortion. However, they forced her to put it up for adoption. That's why she will never forgive her foolish parents. A few years later, her father died. She hates herself a lot for not defending her baby and being a coward, but there's nothing to be done now. She doesn't want to search for her child due to the guilt she feels inside, as she understood that they had something in common. Their lives were very bad. David arrived at the house only to receive offensive comments from his son, and he told him that he had to go to Paris to see an important client. The brat got angry again for always being absent, working any way he could. She asked Maria to take care of him and do everything he needed. The bro hated that he had believed that his stepmother was his real mother because David married her a year after the other one died. The maid recommended that he should give his father another chance. He thanked her for her advice and said he was going to try. At that moment, he stopped being angry and began to see Maria in a different way. He had to take advantage of the fact that the house was empty for several days, but he decided not to tell the girl and instead looked at her photos to take revenge on the thief the next day. This man named Jacob met with the maid. She invited him to a coffee at the house to chat for a while. He was the ex-boyfriend who decided to move on with his life after that incident in the other room. Jack was listening to the conversation that both of them were having. He said that he was still in love with her and wanted to try again. But Maria didn't know what to decide at that moment and didn't answer him. He withdrew, so Gallardo told him to think about it to see if they could do something together. But then he asked the maid who the man was before. She told him the truth and with soft words, she congratulated him on his birthday. Fortunately, he wasn't angry about that because he didn't bring a gift. Maria told him to ask for anything. He answered, "I want you." This put the girl quite nervous. She didn't understand that request. But as the young man was serious, he declared his love for her and what he wanted to do to her. Sadly, Maria left him in suspense. Then she asked if he was still in love with Jacob. It was a shame for the first time. She felt happy and only wanted him as a friend. So she started to think that she was fake, just like the rest who have never supported him. And it wasn't true. She told him that she loved him a lot, but the choking kicks were not working, or maybe they were. He started to approach the girl with the story of his lost baby and received a blow from Smith for talking about such a delicate topic. Wow. Suddenly, Back asked Jack if he wanted to go out and have fun. He said yes to make the others jealous. And it seems to have worked. The chestnut asked him if he would like to be her boyfriend. She was attracted to him so much that without making a noise, she invited him to her house because, at that moment, there was no one there. She could give him his birthday gift, but the man told her no. The young lady had the face of being a crazy obsessive. Better get out quickly. Jack went to see Maria, who was crying, and returned to talk about her, telling her beautiful things until she was convinced of her love. She asked him to love him as she lost her son, and she gave into it. He wanted me to get to fourth base right there. And Mary didn't refuse. Instead, she taught him something to start with. Mission accomplished. Out of nowhere, the girl got mad at the guy who just wanted to use her for his ex. So he approached her to apologize and tell her that he was actually looking for love and promised to fall in love with her first. Mary didn't believe him for sure. He had never had a girlfriend in his life. It was the truth. No one had managed to interest him until she came along and accused him of abandoning her. Like everyone in his sad existence, he had well thought out insults to make the maid fall in love with him, and it worked. She asked him to prove that he really loves her. The girl fell for his seduction techniques again on the second attempt. He just had to be a little persistent. After a while, the young couple confirmed their love and talked before he arrived. David had to stop hating him in order to continue with his life. Mary asked him to sit down and talk to him so they could improve their relationship. It was a promise she had to make to her girlfriend or to God. The guy had to accept or he would be stuck without smelling the flowers. Later, he saw an opportunity to provoke Mary and took it without thinking. He wanted to put on the mischievous chair, but just then the worker arrived and gave a gift to his son, who accepted it without getting angry, so he promised. Well, yes, he did. When David mentioned going out to dinner, the brat wanted to make him suffer and make reconciliation not easy. Mary asked him again to control himself or he will have nothing left. It's not clear which of the two was more blackmailer. Anyway, they were helping each other and having fun, and Jack agreed to go out with his dad, but first they cleared their feelings. David told him that he remarried very soon because he didn't want him to grow up without a mother. Then he asked for a chance to make things right, to be happy. The bronze fell asleep and the next day he saw his father leave him covered. Later Maria arrived. She asked them to go somewhere together since the last day she has been in England and wanted to party. The girl accepted and they went to the park to live their last moments together. Then they went to the room where they decided to get up to mischief. He said that nothing of this seemed real but like a wet dream. There he confirmed that he was awake and proceeded to increase his respect without using tricks. Finally, he offered until the girl felt bad, and Joaquin bit. So he asked for a minute, please, and told her something very hard. Yes, he tried to find his son. He succeeded, but he found out that he was killed in an accident while playing in the park. The little one only had 5 candles. Maria felt super guilty. That's why she had to look for him a day earlier. To save his life. But how was she going to know? Aldo? They all went to prison. Nothing to do about things that are not in control, as he comforted her quickly to resume what they were doing. Now they did it without any guilt or trauma stored inside. After a while, Maria commented that she still felt something for Jacob, but she didn't want to go back to him who only thought about getting married and having children. Later, David was surprised by his son who was not angry. What he replied was that he was going to think about giving him a chance. After that, he went to his room to see Maria's photos and didn't strangle anything. I'm impressed with the anger. It had passed, thanks to a very common girl at that age, and he said goodbye to her before returning to the loving country. The maid promised to visit him someday if she has time outside. She hugged her father for the first time without anger, and left very happy at another moment. Maria visited her old soul. Once the grudges were overcome and they said some things in French that I didn't understand how they reconciled, just as she did with her father. The past had to be left behind and make the most of every second with her mother. Then Maria was calm, doing her own thing and waiting for a baby. The end. Thanks for watching.